What's up guys, NepentheZ here and welcome back to another episode of The Road to Glory. Today, as promised, we've got two live games for you guys. Let me get my questions up. Two live games. The first game I lost, the second game I won, but they are both just very good games of FIFA. Apparently this guy here that I'm playing now is a 12-year-old that is like due to be a pro, but I think he's just too young to be signed to a team right now. But you know, I tweeted out that I lost narrowly to him 4-3. And yeah, it was a good game, but a 12-year-old, fancy that. I've got a cup of hot coffee here because this is going to be quite a long video, 35 minutes as a minimum, pretty much. Once we get through the two games, we've still got some comments to answer. We'll go from there. But the first comment is from Hassan Ahmed. He says, where is the crossing tutorial? People get so finicky, right? Like, first of all, people get so finicky. I said about 4 or 5 days ago that if you guys wanted to see me do a tutorial for the crossing, I'll do it, no problem. And people said yes. And then the next day, I was legitimately getting angry people that I hadn't already done it, already had it uploaded, and already showed them this crossing tutorial. And as the days rolled on, people just get more and more irate because I didn't do it to their time and wants. The reason why I didn't do it and haven't done it and won't do it is because it's already been done. I think Dirty Mike and potentially #Boras have both done a crossing tutorial. However, I can explain to you what it is. Basically, if you hold left bumper and then full power your cross, most of the time it flies to the back post to a guy who's standing there by himself. And you will see me score some of those in these two games that we've got here. Maybe one, maybe two, I can't remember exactly. But generally speaking, you will see it happen. Now, in this first game, I went 3-0 down very early on and just gifted possession. I think after I conceded the first goal there, I felt like Ter Stegen should have maybe done a little bit better with that. You know, the ball just got put to the back post and Ter Stegen just didn't move. He just stayed on his line. He easily could have come out and picked up the loose ball. But the mistake from here was with me, not with the game. You know, from kickoff, I immediately lose the ball. I tried to go down the left-hand side here. I think I made just a bad pass, and before I even had a shot on goal, I've given up possession of the ball. And that's not what should happen. You know, the way this game works, you should always utilize and make the most of the times you have the ball so that the times that you don't have the ball aren't as important. I actually didn't get the header on that either. He headed that back to his goalkeeper. But yeah, maybe it's the second kickoff that I give straight back to him. But yeah, you know, talk to Dave a lot. Dave Myler, he's quality FIFA player. Top 100 caliber, absolutely. Regularly gets 35, 36, 37 plus wins. And I think, first of all, he's obviously super competitive. To be a professional football player, you have to be. But he says that, like, you know, playing football helps him in the mind state in FIFA. And, you know, we've talked in great detail about the mental side of FIFA being sometimes as important, if not more important, than the tactical and natural ability side of FIFA. And what he says is that even if you're losing, even if you're 2-0 down, 3-0 down, you've got to just remember that you will create chances, and it's what you do with those chances that's important. And I think we see that from me personally in this game, which is why I want to show you this game even though I lost it, and why I actually came out of this game feeling very, very happy with the way that I played the game, because I lost to a better opponent at the time. You know, he outplayed me, he beat me comfortably. Well, he beat me 4-3. Yeah, I had a look at his formation there, 4-2-3-1. I think I switched now to the 4-4-2. I thought I switched to the 4-4-2 at 3-0, but I guess I did it at 1-0. But yeah, bottom line is that, you know, Dave says just remember that you'll have possession of the ball as well. And so you've got to make the most of your chances. Even if you're 2-0 down or 3-0 down, just make sure you take your chances. And there were a couple of times in this game that led to me being 2-0 down and 3-0 down, where I rushed my play, I gave up silly possession, and I ruined my opportunities. And it was after I went 3-0 down that, you know, in my mind, I'm saying to myself, you know what, it's 3-0 already, you've got nothing to lose now, so just slow the game down and just try and get a goal back. Try and win the second half. Try and score a couple of goals. Try and frustrate your opponent. Try and make it difficult for him so that he realises that he's in a game and this isn't just going to be the easiest walkover. And I was just really, really happy, as I say, with how I came out of this game. In terms of the crossing tutorial, guys, as I say, you know, you literally just hold left bumper and cross it full power to the far post. And because of, I actually think I think the reason, and I've explained this in detail before, I think the reason why the crossing in this is so overpowered isn't because of people with great heading, great jumping, great height, although that obviously helps. I think it's actually due to the fact that player switching is so broken that it's very hard to manage it defensively. I was a bit unlucky to concede that goal. I felt like I defended that quite well. But I think I do believe, I remember just giving it away after kickoff straight away and thinking, oh God, I've let myself down there. So I assume it will be this time right here. But I got the ball back twice there, I think, in the box. I could have just cleared it. I could have done better. Good goal in the end, good cut back there. We get the ball here with De Bruyne. We go through the middle. I chip it out wide. I play it back to Versalco, and there you go. I've given up possession. So within 2 seconds of me conceding 2-0 down, I've already given this guy an easy chance at scoring, and I actually believe he does score from it. There you go, boom. So I conceded 2 goals within like 2 minutes, and it came from just mismanaging the game. At this point, I should only still be 2-0 down. I should have played it back, held possession a bit, taken my time, drawn him out, and then played a bit better. But unfortunately, wasn't necessarily the case. Next comment is from Tommy M. Says, upgrade Mbappe. No. Right now, my intentions at this stage are not to necessarily upgrade this team unless something funky comes and something fun comes from Foot Birthday or from any of the other promos that we've got coming up. I'm not really interested in changing anything in this team. And the reason for that is because I find it to be a phenomenal team. I think, going in towards Team of the Season, I've explained this before, the player prices will just slowly deteriorate from now until Team of the Season. They'll slowly depreciate. And there will be some anomalies of players that remain the same or go up because of SBCs or whatever. But generally speaking, it will stay the same. So we've already got a 2.5 million coin war chest in our coin total. We've got a Team of the Year Modric and a Team of the Year De Bruyne that we can sell for coins at any point if we want to. I could probably realise about another 5 million coins. I sell De Bruyne for 2 million, Modric for 1.2 million. That's another 3.2 million in the bank. That'll take us to about 5.7. And then we've got easily another million coins worth of stuff in the account. So take us up to about 6.5 after tax. And maybe some depreciation, maybe at like 6.2, 6.3. So between now and Team of the Season, I'm just going to save coins unless something unique comes out. If they do new premium SBCs for Foot Birthday that have some really cool cards in, or if they do another end of an era player that actually fits into the team, then potentially we could look at upgrading this team. But as the team stands right now, I like it. And don't get me wrong, upgrading Mbappe would be pretty cool, but the problem is his 83, which I've done remarkable things with already, is 17,000 coins. His 84, which is barely an upgrade to his 83, he's been upgraded 1 pace, which isn't even 1 pace, it's 1 sprint speed. He has literally gained 1 finishing from his base card. The 84 to the 83 has not one. It's gone up 1 in shooting. It's gone from 80 to 81 shooting as an overall category. But on the in-game stats, it's gone up 1 finishing. He's gone up 1 vision, 1 short passing, 1 curve, no physicals, no defending, 1 agility, 1 balance, 1 reaction, 2 ball control, 2 dribbling, and 1 composure. So for having to pay from the 17,000, 18,000 coins for the 83 up to 45,000 coins for the 84, that's not worth it. You then look at the 85 and that's 275,000 coins, the 86 is 375,000 coins, and the ones to watch because it's a striker is 660,000 coins. I'm just not spending that money because I'm sure that in a couple of weeks' time, maybe he gets another inform anyway, and that will actually drive his price up for his ones to watch and whatever new Mbappe card comes out. But I'm sure that his cards are generally just going to decline going forwards. I don't want to spend that much money, lose that coins on tax and on depreciation, and for the sake of a few weeks with a better version of Mbappe, have the loss of 200,000 coins, which give or take, which will be good enough to buy like a 90, 91, 92 rated insane Team of the Season when it comes out. And I know, I see this in the comments a lot. Team of the Season, this game is dead. This game in general is dead. Nobody plays it. Team of the Season. For me personally, and this is why I'm doing this in my Road to Glory, is because for me personally, Team of the Season is the best time during the game. It's the time I have the absolute most fun outside of the first sort of month. The first month of every new iteration of FIFA is always so much fun because it's all brand new. You're rebuilding your squad. You're getting used to things again. There's new additions to each game. Outside of that, my fun levels go really high at the start to drop a little bit, and then Team of the Season go really high again. I love Team of the Season. I genuinely do. So that's why I won't be upgrading Gunter says, hi Nep, hi Gunter. Do you think FIFA is dying? EA aren't listening to the community, and this game will eventually die until FIFA 19 comes out. And do you think the 40 FUT Champs games is too much for the weekend and it's too much stress? By the way, keep up the great content. Well, I think I've spoken to death about my opinions on FUT Champs and where it stands. I believe a ranked ladder system is an absolute necessity in FIFA 19. I think EA will be doing their hardcore user base an absolute disservice if they don't put it into the game. You know, if EA literally sit there and maintain the same structure in FIFA 19, I, for one, won't be playing FUT Champs. So that might mean the end of the Road to Glory or a Road to Glory without FUT Champs. And depending on what else they bring into the game in FIFA 19, you know, could dictate where we go. But yeah, if FUT Champs is the same, I tweeted this out and I said to people, screenshot this and use it for viewing and use it against me if I'm lying. But I'll say this on Twitter, I'll say this on video. If FUT Champs is the same next year, I'm not doing it. I've given up 2 years of my weekends spending time with my family and friends and just generally having a life for the greater good, you know, because I love to do it for my audience and I love to do it for YouTube and I love the competitive aspect of FUT Champs. It's just sad that I'm told when I have to play competitive FIFA, and that, you know, it's just bizarre. We've been through it to death, and there, you know, a ranked ladder system doesn't come without its problems. You know, one of the biggest problems with a ranked ladder system will be that pros will be able to qualify other team pros. So, for example, if we created something called Team Sweat, and I went and hired a pro player for Team Sweat, I could then go and sign 3 or 4 other Team Sweat members, and I could get that pro player to play on behalf of all the other players to rank them up, take them up to the spot where it's competitive FIFA for tournaments, and, you know, I could get unfair advantages in that manner. And in the same sense, you know, if it's ranked play, you could get someone to play on 2 or 3 accounts and generate more rewards and stuff. But those aren't things that should be considered. You know, it shouldn't be a case. By the way, I really thought that should have been a red card right there. I was clean through with Mbappe. I'm almost certain I would have scored. And at 3-2 after scoring a penalty against 10 men, I really would have favoured myself to potentially get back into this game. Sadly, you know, and potentially win the game. Sadly, that wasn't the case. He only got a yellow. But yeah, I don't think you shouldn't change things just in case things come wrong. I talked about this in the last episode. You know, in other games, when things go wrong, they balance that. They fix that. They take that into consideration. In League of Legends, when a champion gets an upgrade and it makes him up, you know, like maybe he gets a rebalancing or the game gets patched and changed, or, you know, something changes within the game in one description or another, and it makes a certain champion incredibly strong, they will rebalance that champion. They will make changes to that individual champion and make it different. So, you know, if putting in a ranked ladder system means that problems come with that, well, spend the time on fixing those problems. Don't just leave what we already have because you don't want to embrace other potential flaws, because that's not the way that a company should handle it. But sadly, the bottom line is as to whether or not EA do change it, and that comes down greatly to the first part of the question, and that is, do I think FIFA is dying? EA aren't listening to community, and this game will eventually die until FIFA 19. Well, according to all statistics, this game is absolutely not dying. Maybe on a social platform, it's not doing as good as it once has. My views in general are as strong as they have been for about the last 3 or 4 years. You know, always at the start of the game, my views stay really strong, 200 to 300,000 views a video. And then as the game goes on, my views drop down to 100 to 150,000 views a video, with an anomaly here or there of a bigger video or a smaller video. And then during Team of the Season, they pick back up again towards 200,000 views a video. It's been the same cycle for 4 years. My views are the same as that on my main channel. On the second channel, which I would consider a more hardcore user base and a more hardcore viewer base, my views have been lower now than ever before. You know, I started FIFA 16 getting 30, 40,000 video. We went into FIFA 17 starting to get 80 to 100,000 video, sometimes a little bit more, sometimes a little bit less. And as the year wore on, it slowly deteriorated down to that 40 to 50k mark towards the very back end of FIFA. This year, we started off really strong. That should have been a penalty as well, by the way. I can't believe it wasn't. And then it hit the bar. Like, just so unlucky. Yeah, this year we started really strong, 100 to 120,000 views a video, a little more sometimes, a little less sometimes. And then we very quickly deteriorated down to the 90s, down to the 80s, to the point where now 50 to 70,000 is an average viewership, whereas this time last year, 80 to 90,000 was an average viewership. So I think a large portion of the hardcore viewer base has stopped watching YouTube. You can see that through Twitch, you can see that through videos. But in terms of the actual player base and why EA won't change anything, or potentially won't change anything, is because it is the minority that care. The general viewership, the general player base of FIFA is the biggest it's ever been. It's sold more copies than ever before. It has more players and more logins than ever before. And there are reasons to this, of course, with everything. The squad battles is a massive, massive part of why people log in every day. Because for those that want just rewards and don't mind playing against the AI, you can imagine a lot of young kids that aren't good enough to play online and a lot of people in general that can't qualify for FUT Champs will literally log on every day to play 4 squad battles games or some squad battles games to guarantee themselves some rewards. And that gives this impression that people are coming back and are engaged with the game and are loving the game. And the fact that there are a lot more SBCs this year than there were last year also has people coming on constantly, which shows through the metrics that there is more engagement with this game. And so when you go to EA as EA Sports, as EA Sports development team, they would go to EA and they would say, hey, our vocal core user base would love this to change. And what will happen is that EA Canada, EA, Electronic Arts will look at that and say, well, according to the stats, this game is being more engaged than ever before. We're getting more users than ever before. We sold more copies than ever before, and we're making more money than ever before. So what will changing a structure that is played by few, what will that do for the company, for EA Sports? And maybe long term, it might have an impact. Long term, there might be a difference. But short term, changing FUT Champs isn't going to draw people back in. It's not going to make more. It's not going to make a difference of people playing. And by not changing it, it's not going to stop a big enough amount of people from playing that will impact the metrics that EA want to look at. So, although a lot of people would like people to believe that FIFA is dying, that comes from the social sector. That comes from the streamers and the YouTubers vocalizing their discontent because we are the hardcore versions of FIFA players and our viewers generally are also the hardcore versions of FIFA players. So when we're saying to our viewers this game is dead, they've got it in their mind state that this game is dead. And so everyone just assumes that because vocally this is what's happening, everyone assumes this game is dead. But the stats show otherwise. Even on Twitch, FIFA 18 is already more watched in terms of minutes watched than FIFA 17 was for the whole year. And we're only about halfway through FIFA 18. So it's not bad. It's not in a bad state. The problem is that the competitive side of FIFA is very, very poor, and the hardcore users of this game don't enjoy it. But the hardcore users are such a small percentage. I tried to explain this before. When I run my pub, was in the pub industry, if let's say I got 10,000 customers a week and 500 of those customers would come in and just complain every day. Man, I hate your beer. Man, change your beer. Man, no one likes this beer. But the 9,500 people that are drinking the beer and also paying and not saying anything, they're just drinking the beer, they're paying, they come, they go, they come, they go. But the 500 people that come in every day, the same people that come in every day, are saying to me, your beer's terrible, your beer's too expensive, your beer's this, your beer's that. I'm going to look at my takings at the end of the day and look at my year on year and look at how this day compared exactly to last year and this week compared to last year and this month compared to last year. And I'm going to sit here and say, hey, these guys, they come here and drink every day, but they're complaining to me about how the beer's too expensive or the beer's not good enough or it's not cold enough or it's the wrong style of beer. Yet my figures are showing me that my business is doing better today than it did this time last year. So clearly I'm doing something right and it's just not in line what that small group of hardcore customers want. So I'm not then going to go and change my beers to suit them, because what if changing my beers pisses off the other 9,500 people that come and drink in my pub every week? At that point they're now going to walk away because they're not getting what they were just quite content with, and they're not getting that anymore. They might stay, they might leave, but you're not going to risk the masses to please the minor. And that sadly is just business. And because EA are a for-profit organization, there is nothing in me that thinks we will get a ranked ladder next year realistically, apart from the fact that I know a couple of the guys in EA are pushing very, very hard for what the community members suggest that they want. There are a couple of dudes in there, mostly, I know, oh god, his name, Corey. Sorry, his name just completely escaped my mind. I know Corey is an avid follower of many of the YouTubers and streamers, and he understands our concerns, and he understands that if we're happy and if we produce good content, we will be getting much more views, which will generate more revenue and more viewership for FIFA in the long term. So we've got there are a couple of dudes in EA fighting for what we as a community want, but there are also people in EA that just have that strict business mind on their shoulders that are saying, no, we don't care about the small minority of people that want change that won't actually make a difference to our profit and to our bottom line. So I completely understand that. I don't necessarily agree with it, and that's why I say next year, for me personally, if Foot Champs is the same structure, I won't play it. I might indulge in it. I might play a weekend league here or there, but I'm not going to base my series around the weekend league. I'm not going to base my Foot Champs around, building a super meta team because of my Foot Champs rewards. We'll figure something different out and we'll change it accordingly because I'm not going to personally do that. The next comment is from Andreas. He says, to be honest, I would like chem styles to be eliminated from the game. Just give the cards their base stats and let us prioritize. Yeah, brilliant. Yesterday's episode we was talking about chem styles and maybe potential changes with chem styles, but I absolutely agree. I think this game would be far more diverse if we wasn't able to boost the key stats for lesser players to make them like meta players, Bakayoko, without a shadow, would probably be quite useless. He wouldn't be quite fast enough to catch up with the likes of an Eden Hazard or the likes of, I don't know, like an Insigne or a Mertens or a Gareth Bale. He wouldn't be fast enough. And the boost that he gets, and one of the reasons why he is so overpowered, and I don't see Bakayoko much these days. We see him from time to time, but generally speaking, we don't see him much. But yeah, so if he just had his base stats, he would have 81 interceptions, which is quite awful in this game. He'd be lost in space all the time. Low marking, which again would have him lost in space at 80. Okay standing and sliding tackle. But yeah, the Shadow Chem style puts Bakayoko to 97 slide tackle, 99 stand tackle, 95 marking, and 91 interceptions, with 82 sprint speed and 90 acceleration. It takes him, according to the position chart, it takes him from an 81 rated CDM in that position to an 86 rated CDM in that position. And that kind of boost is just stupid. I think having players have realistic attributes that suit them and make them who they are, and having no boost to those players, not as a chem style anyway, but maybe small minor boost for achieving accomplishments with them throughout their career within your club, I would be more in line with that. So Bakayoko right now, as I say, he has 80 interceptions. Well, maybe you could have targets for each player, a list of achievements, and maybe he could get up to 85 interceptions once you've completed a list of achievements. Still not as many interceptions as we currently have when he has a Shadow Chem style on him, but a small boost for your loyalty to the player, loyalty to the game, and time spent grinding. That kind of stuff would be fun. But yeah, chem styles are just so overpowered, so huge. It would be interesting to see how the dynamics of this game and how the meta players within this game change if chemistry in general and chem styles in general were just removed. That is a nice cup of coffee. Ian Mortimer says, currently 11 and 15 in my first weekend league ever. Never hated FIFA more. Hey, I'll tell you something, man. This is the first time you've managed to qualify for the weekend league and you're 11 and 15. You are not doing bad, bro. You're on target for like how have I missed that? On target for like a 16 to 18 win week. And that puts you in the upper percentile of players in this game. Sure, it doesn't put you in the upper percentile of players in Foot Champs, maybe the top 60%. But in terms of the FIFA players in the world, that would put you probably in the top 1%. There were some facts and figures that I read online a few weeks ago. I'll see if I can go around and find them. But yeah, even if you qualify for Foot Champs, it makes you one of the best FIFA players in terms of percentage. Not obviously, maybe not top 1,000, maybe not top 10,000, but again, there's so many people that play this game that just by qualifying, it puts you up there, dude. So don't be disheartened. You should be proud of going 11 and 15, man, in your first weekend league. That's a good achievement. Varun Anand says, Yo Net, my favourite YouTuber. Thank you, Varun. He says, why don't you do the CSSBC? I did it on Xbox for 120,000 coins with nothing in the club and I haven't packed anything big. Can't have been my best pawn and made 10k profit and got an 86 rated card. Just think it's worth it to do. Lovely vids, what I've been watching since FIFA 13. I might give it a look, dude. Right now I know he'd fit into my team because I've got the two Spanish centre-backs that have perfect links to each other. So in that manner, Casillas would fit in there very nicely. And of course, being the ex-Real Madrid goalkeeper, it would be maybe a nice, I don't know, a nice thought to have Casillas in there. The problem I have is that you know, I'm not really interested in doing the SBCs. His kicking is terrible, by the way, which is an important part of my game with goalkeepers. His handling isn't the best either. His diving reflexes and positioning is good. According to Footbin, it's 130,000 coins on PlayStation if you have nothing, and you get 25k back just for getting him. So you're looking at about 100,000 coins minimum before you take into consideration what you get back from each of the packs. So yeah, maybe we'll look at doing it if we can do it for 20, 30,000 coins. I'm happy to throw that in there, but I don't think I'd use him, at least not often. And what I'd end up doing is probably using him in another SBC somewhere down the line. But I'm not ultimately interested in adding many of the league SBCs to my squad, just because, again, Ter Stegen's good. I actually do want to go and get David De Gea. I'm just going to wait a week or so until potentially his price comes down. Hopefully his price comes down, and throw him into the team. At half-time in this game, guys, you can see it's a tough game. You know, I've had a little less possession, a lot less pass accuracy. I've had one extra shot on target. I actually should have been 2-0 to the good, because I got that back post cross to, it was Costa, and he volleyed it instead of headed it. What I should have done, and you know, I'll learn from this, is I should have just taken a touch and then shot. I had so much time. There was no need, absolutely no need for the first time shot. So I should have just taken a touch, controlled it, and then put it in the back of the net. Probably would have been fared a little bit better. But again, I wanted to show this whole game because I'm thoroughly enjoying the way I'm playing FIFA this weekend. I feel like I'm playing the best FIFA I've played in a long time. At the time of recording this video, I'm 20 wins and 4 losses. Lost one of those on penalties, one of those in extra time, one of those that you just saw to the guy who's just very, very good. I can't remember the other one that I lost, but bottom line is I'm playing good FIFA. You know, if I'm 20 and 4, I was still with a good shout of getting Elite 3. I need to go 12 and 2 to get Elite 3. Wait, no, 20 and 4. I need to go 14 and 2 to get Elite 1. Sorry, 14 and 2 to get Elite 1 for the week. I've probably not on the best run anymore. You know, at 15 and 1, at 16 and 2, I'm definitely thinking, hey, I can get Elite 1 here if I just keep it up. But the losses I've taken just very fairly. You know, I've taken them because I've been outplayed, because I've been bested. I've won a couple of really, really tight games. I've actually got 2 more games that I played today to take me from 18 and 4 to 20 and 4. And both of those games were absolutely fantastic games that I feel like I want to show you guys again. So I might show those as full games, or maybe extended highlights of those games, because they were, again, just 2 great games of FIFA that really showcase just how well I'm playing right now, you know. So at 20 and 4, I'm in a really good spot for Elite 3. I'm very happy that I'm almost banked on for Elite 3, maybe an Elite 2 finish this week. But, you know, we only need 24 wins a week to get Elite 3 monthly, and I'm more than content with that for the month, if it means I don't have to play hard or play serious or whatever. So, you know, 29 wins or more would be very, very welcome. But 24 wins or more is probably where we're going for. The next comment comes from Andy JC. Says, hey, Nep, I've been watching you for a while now. I was just wondering if a team of the season card would change the one to watch for that rating. For example, I've got one to watch Walker, and if you've got a team of the season, would my card get an upgrade to the team of the season rating? Love your vids, man. Keep it up. No, it wouldn't. Team of the season and team of the year do not impact the one to watch cards, and I believe the SBC cards don't impact the one to watch cards either. So it's only informs man of the matches, hero cards, etc. TT Smith says, you say that Kevin De Bruyne will be in your team until the end of the year. Will Modric? I think it's the way I'm playing right now and how good Modric and Kevin De Bruyne are for me right now. It's very hard for me to see them not in my team, because they are just both exceptional. But again, when team of the season comes this year, there are going to be some other players that are as good, maybe better, that I'm going to want to test out. And if I put another player in the team, let's say that there's just some other random player, that a midfielder, you know, maybe that Milinkovic-Savic card that I put in a team, and he's just beasting and feasting, and I'm like, hey, let's take Modric out for a weekend league, see about another card and see how it goes. That should have been a penalty there, Jesus. Then, you know, maybe I'll be like, okay, if I loved someone else as much as Modric or as much as De Bruyne, I would consider getting rid of them and freeing up those coins and improving the team elsewhere. But in the current state of FIFA, with the current players that are available on the market, there is no one better that I've used this year, in my opinion, than the 2 cards that I've got. I think Modric would definitely be one of the first ones that I would be happy to get rid of. But De Bruyne, not so much, because he is just on a different level. So we'll see how it goes. You know I've said he'll be in my team for the rest of the year. That is definitely subject to change based on other players coming out. Just the way I feel right now is I feel on fire when I've got that De Bruyne in my hands. When he's on the ball, he just doesn't let me down. And that's what you look for in FIFA. You know, especially in competitive FIFA, you look for a player that's just going to be efficient for you for the most of the time, and that is one of the reasons why we got rid of so many players over time. You know, one of the reasons why I got rid of Henry is because I just feel like he got eclipsed by defenders and other players, and he let me down all too often. One of the reasons why we got rid of so many of the other players that we picked up was because they just let me down in times where I felt like they should have been doing better. But not this team, not these players, not this De Bruyne for sure. Modric there with a shot gets saved. Eero says, hey Nep, here's a question for you. Do you enjoy more making videos on this channel or the main channel? Some way I feel like that you rather do videos on this channel, enjoy making these Road to Glory videos, but that might not be the situation. Just like to hear what you do enjoy making more videos on this channel or the main channel or both. By the way, I love your videos on both channels and watch every single one of them. Well, thank you for the continued support, dude. I don't really have a favoured channel. I enjoy many aspects to both of them and hate many aspects to both of them. What I don't like on the main channel is the feeling of being detached from the audience. You know, what I love about this channel so much is that we have a relationship, we have a connection. I feel like I get to know FIFA more, I feel like I get to know you guys more, I feel like I get to experience more of the game and the community because of this channel. And on the main channel I don't feel like that's there. You know, when I look at the comment section on the main channel, it's just filled with hatred, with spam, with bots, with just memes, and it's just a negative, bad place to be in the comment section on the main channel, and we don't get that here. However, on this channel, obviously, I spend considerably more time on this channel than my main channel, and that has had an impact on my personal life and you know my life in general. I have far less time for things that normal people have time for. And don't get me wrong, it's not necessarily a complaint, because I understand that I'm in a very privileged position to be doing what I do and to be here. And I know that this is for the greater good. You know, if my vision stays true, if my views hold up to what they have been over the last couple of years, for another couple of years, I will be in a position in life I could never have dreamed of, and at that point I can start scaling down the amount of time spent on social media. Not to say that I'm going to quit or anything like that, because I don't know if I could ever see a world where I'm not uploading videos. But definitely to take into consideration maybe spending less time. So I really enjoy both. One of the things that I don't enjoy about either is having the lack of time to do meaningful videos that I think would benefit the community. And that is a product of my own success and a product of my own doing, essentially, because I created this 2 channels, 1 a day scenario, and people expect that of me, and it generates me an exceptionally healthy living. So off the base of that, off the back of that, for me to take a day off and not upload to even this channel or to the main channel, I would not lose, but I wouldn't gain substantial funds. And whilst this isn't about money in total, it's not always about the money, it's not always about the financial side of things. You know, I have 2 children now. I have to consider that, and I have to put them first and me second. So, you know, wanting to get out better videos or videos that I think would be just different and beautiful, you know, videos that I think would be great to the general cause of the game, I'm unable to spend time on, and just general ideas. You know, I've got so many ideas for this community, for this game, for websites that we can use to help track stats and track data, like when I was talking about in the Draft to Glory the other day about a website that tracks records in draft. I would love to be a part of something like that. I just don't have the time because of these 2 channels, and that's obviously a down part. So there are plenty of negatives to what I do and how I do it, but those negatives are driven by my own design and by myself. It's not like someone's holding a gun to my head forcing me to upload these videos. It is indeed by choice. It's just that hopefully the choice that I've made works out for me, my family, and you guys in the long run. Otherwise, I've made a really bad decision and it won't. But anyway, guys, those were the 2 games right there. We end up winning that one 3-1. We lost the first one 4-3. But again, I played 2 exceptional games of FIFA right there. I don't know if you guys got any opinions on those games and the gameplay. Would love to hear your thoughts down below. But this, guys, is going to be the end of the video for now. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. I'm out. Peace.